Okay, let's go ahead and begin. Thank you everyone for joining us this morning for this introduction to CALeVIP's new Construction Progress Tracker tool. I'm Rob Taylor. I'm a Senior Manager of EV Infrastructure here at the Center for Sustainable Energy. And among other things, I manage the Construction Progress Tracker tool. My goal today is that after a short but information-packed training today, that you come away confident and prepared to use this Construction Progress Tracker on your current and future CALeVIP projects. Let's go ahead to the first slide and review the agenda. So today we're going to get into, obviously, what is the Construction Progress Tracker, which I'll refer to as the CPT for short, how to sign up initially to use the Construction Progress Tracker, how to use it, applicant responsibilities and program requirements within CALeVIP, specifically what are you expected to do. We'll review some resources, our user guide, and the optional mobile app. And before we go into part 6 Q&A, I will pivot to open the tool itself and give you kind of a live in-person tour of what you will see when using the tool and the basics on navigating and using it. I think you'll find that it's extremely simple and I hope very user-friendly. That is the goal with this tool, is to enable updates on progress of these projects, but in the most user-friendly and easy way possible. Next slide, please. So what is the Construction Progress Tracker? It's a new tool that we've created at CSC. It was created for CALeVIP Block Grant 2.0 and is required for all projects that get funds reserved in the new Block Grant 2.0. Additionally, if you're in Block Grant 1.0, you probably already know it is required for projects that get an extension in CALeVIP Block Grant 1. And also, as of next Tuesday, it will be required for Block Grant 1 projects that get funds reserved starting next Tuesday. That is, I believe, the 21st. As I said, it's a user-friendly tool that allows applicants to track their project progress against an estimated construction timeline. We've basically created the ideal perfect world timeline for your project to proceed at, and you can update tasks and major milestones as they happen in real time. Applicants are required to accept the initial invite to Teamwork, which is the platform that the CPT runs on, within 5 calendar days of getting the invite. So for Block Grant 2.0 projects, you will get your initial funds reserved announcement, and within 48 hours of that, you'll get an email from Teamwork, and we are requiring that you sign up within 5 days. Sign up is extremely simple. You'll see it in a slide, the next slide, but basically you just click a link, give your name, create a password, that's it. Once you're signed up, you'll update construction tasks and milestones in the tool once they're completed. Very simple, simply checking a box. And you can view your project progress either as a list timeline or as a Gantt chart and compare it to estimated construction timelines. This is going to provide insight for our organization, the CEC, and for yourself for if a project is going to need extensions, if things are taking longer than anticipated or planned. That'll give us some insight ahead of time. Also, this is going to really provide great insight for the reality of projects on the ground. Obviously, CSE wants to be sure that our expectations within our programs are aligned with reality, and this tool is going to provide us with the data to do so. Also, it will help us if there are opportunities of improvement within the industry in general. For example, if there's specific AHJs or utilities that are doing great or could do better, this provides us with the raw data that we can share to have an actually intelligent and data-backed conversation about those things. Hoping and assuming it will be helpful for everyone involved. So first step, very simple, is signing up. As I mentioned, in Block Grant 2, you will receive your funding notification from CSE, and within 48 hours, you'll receive this email pictured here from Teamwork with directions. And you can see there's the blue Get Started button. All you do is click that, and it will prompt you to enter your name, and it already knows your email since it sent you an email, and it'll prompt you to create a password. And then it will take you to Teamwork, and you can see any projects that have been currently assigned to you. It is required that you sign up within 5 business days of receiving funds reserved. This sign up is only required once per user. So for example, if you have other projects that gets funds reserved and you already have an account created within Teamwork, CSE will simply add your project to the Construction Progress Tracker and assign your user profile that's already created to the project. Next slide, please. We will go into this in a little more detail on our tour of the tool, but these are the basic elements of what you will see in Teamwork. There are tasks and milestones. Tasks are different phases of the construction project that are expected to happen within predefined timeframes. And they're the more important but minor tasks along the way, such as equipment ordered, equipment received, trenching complete, things like that. Plan check responded to. And then there's milestones. And for every project, there's 5 major milestones. And these are bigger things, such as you received your permit, or you began construction, or passed final inspections, or submitting final documents for payment. All of these are spaced at predetermined intervals from the day your funds are reserved, and are simply clicked off as complete by marking a check mark beside the task or milestone. And again, we will look at that in action when we do our live walkthrough in a few moments. You also have the option to look at your project like this. Instead of the list we saw on the previous slide, you can look at it as a Gantt chart, which depending on how your mind works and likes to view projects might be a lot easier way to view it. It shows both tasks and milestones, indicates who is assigned to it. So if you have multiple collaborators within your organization, they would have a different color. Completed tasks are shaded gray. So for example, in this one, we can see that the utility design is complete in the upper left, and therefore it's gray. You also have the option to indicate percentage progress. So for example, if a thing's not complete, but is 75% of the way, you do have the option to indicate that, and it will show up in this Gantt chart with a darker shading with the percent progress complete. Next slide, please. We want to make it easy for you to remember to update tasks. Ideally, you'll complete a task and go to the Construction Progress Tracker and update it, but we do have built-in notifications to give you a heads up that a deadline of a task or milestone is coming up. So for the tasks, you will get an automated email 15 days prior to the expected completion date. And for milestones, the reminder will just come 1 day before the expected completion date of the milestone. Below is just an example of the email that you'll see coming from Teamwork. This is, for example, a task. Equipment is commissioned and energized. Heads up, 15 days from now, this is due. Additionally, we are going to send out very basic progress questionnaires from Teamwork starting at day 120 of your project, so 120 days from the day funds are reserved, and we'll periodically follow up with a brief questionnaire every 90 days thereafter. It probably sounds like a lot of communication between the tasks and the milestones, but over the course of a 450-day estimated project. We're hoping that it doesn't overwhelm your inboxes too much. These progress questionnaires will be very basic and based on the expected spot on the timeline that your project is. 4 or 5 questions total to make sure we're up to date with where your project is. Next slide, please. And this is the standard perfect world timeline that projects are set up for within Teamwork. And this is specifically a Block Grant 2.0 project. The Block Grant 1.0 projects are slightly different. And you can see over the course of a 450-day project, the different estimates of when specific tasks or milestones are completed. Obviously, this is a construction project and not everything falls into these perfect linear boxes at all times. Timelines change, different tasks and milestones sometimes happen before or after each other. That is very much known. And there's the option and the expectation within the tool where you can indicate this task or this milestone is not going to happen on this date. It's more likely to happen on this date, and we can modify for you. That being said, all projects are based on a 450-day timeline. So if your project is going to exceed that 450-day timeline, you will need an approved extension through our extension progress. So just to kind of reiterate and clarify that, these are preset timelines. It's excellent if you meet them as planned, but if things are going to happen at a different date, that is also fine. Simply notify us via the tool or via an email to cptadmin@energycenter.org, and we can change those. We cannot change the 450-day deadline without an approved extension. Next slide, please. So here are the expectations from applicants who get funds reserved within Block Grant 2.0 and for applicants who get funds reserved in Block Grant 1.0 after the 21st. So the CPT is required for all Block Grant 2 projects that have funds reserved. Additionally, it's required for Block Grant 1 projects that have an approved extension that was approved after January 16th of this year, or Block Grant 1 projects that received funds reserved after February 21st, which is next Monday. The absolute minimal responsibilities for the applicant, for yourself within Teamwork, is first of all, and very importantly, to accept that initial invite to Teamwork, to create your profile in Teamwork. There are 5 major milestones within each project to mark as complete during the life of the project, and there are 16 tasks to complete along the way. So to break it down in a more detailed way, step 1, you'll apply for funding and provide your additional documents to CSE. You'll create a Teamwork account via the email invite and read the directions issued by CSE. Another primary expectation is that by day 60, the 60-day checkpoint, you'll provide either a utility service design or an issued permit that is specifically for Block Grant 2 projects. Update the project tasks and milestones as they are completed in Teamwork. As I mentioned, there will be mandatory questionnaires starting at day 120 and every 90 days thereafter. And then obviously your final document submission on day 450, unless you have an active approved extension. Resources. We have a user guide that, first of all, has been linked in this meeting. So if you see your the GoToMeeting kind of command control center, there's a section called handouts where there is an attached PDF, the CALeVIP Applicant Training Guide. That is specifically the training guide for the CPT. It goes into everything covered in this presentation this morning. frequently asked questions, deeper details and nuances of the specific timeline expectations or templates for Block Grant 1 and Block Grant 2 projects. We'll also email out this user guide to all the attendees of this webinar. It is going to be available on our CALeVIP document library. It's not uploaded there right at this moment, but within the next couple days, it will be there. And also you'll receive a PDF of this same guide when you get your initial invite to the Construction Progress Tracker. So we are definitely trying to make sure you get this training guide in your hands and have access to it to guide you through initially. I do believe you will find it extremely easy after navigating the tool for a little bit, a few minutes, couple projects, and it'll be very easy. Additionally, I should note you can, this is in the user guide, but you can always email the CPT support email, which is cptadmin@energycenter.org. That's all lowercase, cptadmin@energycenter.org. And that email will go to me, and I will help you out and answer your questions. Next slide, please. So the Teamwork app that runs the CPT is based on your desktop computer, but you also have the option to download a mobile app if that is easier for you to use on your phone or tablet or however you do your work. It's available in both Apple and Android platforms, and you can choose to download that and update milestones and projects via that app. Next slide, please. So as I said, before we pivot to the question and answer section, I would like to open up the tool itself and give you a walkthrough of how you will see projects and how you can mark tasks, milestones complete, a little look at the Gantt chart and some other nice details of the tool. Okay, so I should be showing my screen, and you can see here is the initial page of the Construction Progress Tracker that you will see. And this is kind of a table of contents of projects. You will not see this many projects unless you have a ton of them. This is the administrator profile. But you can see if you did have multiple, they'll be broken up by project. And then the application number will be noted as the title of the project. The best place to start is at Home and My Projects. And from this My Projects tab, you can see any of them that you have been assigned as a collaborator. If you like, you could shift over to My Work, and instead of seeing it on a project by project basis, you'll see a list of upcoming tasks that have been assigned to you to mark complete. But starting in the My Projects, I'll go to just a template of a DCFC project in Block Grant 2. So you can see what that looks like. You click on that. And this is that initial page that shows the main parts of a project, starting from the beginning: equipment procurement, designs, pre-construction, on into construction, through inspections, utility installations if applicable, which it will be for most Block Grant 2 projects, completion, energization, and final document submittal. These are the major parts of the project, and under each one, there's a little caret drop down, and you can see the tasks that are associated with this. They're all assigned to John Doe at the moment, but as you sign up, you will be added to your specific projects as the responsible party. So for this project, if John Doe has completed the final utility design as planned by March 1st or earlier, simply hover over this checkbox and click it. It turns green and it's done. If there are things to note, if it's going to take longer, if it happened sooner than anticipated, you could click on the title of the task itself, and you can add a comment, and you can say however you'd like to address us. Hi, cptadmin. This is going to be completed whenever. And then you save the comment, and that will notify myself as the cptadmin to change the date of this. You can do that for tasks. You can do that for milestones. Again, I will reiterate, none of these changes in dates will change the ultimate 450-day timeline. And in fact, if they're taking longer, it'll mean that other things need to happen more quickly at the end of the project as things go. If you do need an extension, we have an extension policy where you can formally request and get that approved. This is the task view. Everyone has a little drop down with the different tasks that happen in each section that need to be completed. And then there's the milestone view. And this is just the 5 major milestones within a project. And it's starting from the most recent, or I'm sorry, it starts from the furthest out, and at the bottom will be the one that's due the soonest. And again, same way to click it done. If it's done, you can just hover over this check mark, say that is done. If you want to make a comment, you can edit and make a comment. Additionally, if you want to, with tasks at least, milestones you can't modify the percentage, but with a task, you can edit the percentage complete by clicking into it and going in and modifying the progress. That is not required. It is required to click it done when it's done, but you can use the percentage complete if that is useful to you. So there's a list of tasks, there's a list of milestones, and then possibly helpful is the Gantt chart. If you click on the Gantt chart here, this is zoomed in on early tasks, but as you just drag out with your mouse, you can see the different tasks that are lines with an estimated range of completion and the different milestones or diamonds. These can be clicked done by you, but you can't modify the timeline yourself as a collaborator. If you do want to change the date that one of these things is going to be completed, you do need to either make a comment in the task or email cptadmin@energycenter.org, and we can modify that for you. So milestones or tasks. This is the Gantt view. As you mark these things completed, they will typically disappear from the Gantt view so that you only see the incomplete or pending tasks and milestones. You can zoom in if you like to specific areas, and it gets a little more useful because you can see the specific days of the month that things are expected to be completed. And you can see the different things that have dependencies on each other. Like, obviously, we don't think you're going to begin your inspections until your balance of systems is complete, and so on and so forth. That is the general overview of what the tool looks like, how you can interact with it. Just to show one more time really quick, if you want to modify timelines, if it's complete, click the checkbox. If you'd like to modify the timeline, click on it, add a comment, and I will see your comment. And obviously, if it's within reason and doesn't require an extension of your 450-day deadline, we will modify the timeline based on reality. So I'm going to switch my screen back to the presentation and see if we've had questions come up during the course of the presentation. All right, wonderful. Okay, so I see that Fidel has jumped in and answered a few of these already through typing. Let's see. Okay, so what happens if you do not sign up within the 5-day window? So according to our terms and conditions, technically we would cancel the funds reserved for the project if you're not signed up within the 5-day window. In reality, I very much want you to have the opportunity to sign up. So we will reach out to any collaborators, any additional emails that we have if we do not get a response within that 5 days, and very much attempt to give the applicant a chance to sign up for the CPT. But ultimately, if it is not signed up for promptly, we will cancel funds reserved and move on to another project. Okay. So there's another question. I had submitted my application to a Golden State Priority project and uploaded documents, but I haven't seen an email yet. This might have been answered, but when will I get the teamwork invite? So the application window is still open for the Golden State Priority project. And so basically when you get your email for funds reserved, after that window closes and all projects are reviewed, if you get funds reserved, then within 48 hours, you will receive an invite to the construction progress tracker. What is the process for requesting an extension if we need the date extended after our 450 days due to supply chain delays, utility? That's a great question. So we have, if you're familiar with our Block Grant 1.0 extension policy, which we released a new version of in January, that extension policy also will apply to Block Grant 2.0 projects. You can request an extension at any time during your project as long as it's before 15 days of your final deadline. So basically, anytime before day 435, you can request an extension if you know it's something that's really going to delay your project. For example, if permitting or utility design is really dragging and you know it's going to push your project, you can submit a extension request by emailing your RPS assigned to the project. They'll send you an extension request form, which helps us gather more detailed information on your specific delay. And assuming that is reviewed and approved, we will then modify the timeline of your project within the CPT to reflect the approved extension. There's a question, so all this starts once you successfully upload everything to CALeVIP. So specifically for Block Grant 2.0 projects, it starts at day 0 is funds reserved. And then there's checkpoints along the way based on the timeline shared. So day 0 of the 450-day clock is the day funds are reserved. Right. So who will receive the teamwork link to register? Will it be the applicant who submitted the application, or will it be sent out to all collaborators? So the initial teamwork link will be sent out to the primary applicant who gets the funds reserved notification. However, we do want to add whatever relevant team members you have working on the project, and especially encourage having backups and multiple people on your team signed up. So please email cptadmin energycenter.org, or make a note in any of the tasks or milestones of your project with any emails or so individuals and emails you would like to be invited to the project, and we'll send them an invite in Teamwork and we will add them to your project. Okay, so I see the question, can a team member contact me separately to confirm that we've applied for the correct program? And yes, we certainly can. My team, the technical education and assistance team, is actively providing application assistance for programs. So we will reach out to you and discuss further one-on-one. I think that I have answered the questions that I see here. I do want to just point out again, in case you missed it, that there's a handout attached in the toolbar here. If you click the little caret drop down on handouts, there's a PDF of our user guide. Additionally, this meeting has been recorded and will be available probably by Friday. And all applicants will receive, or all attendees of this webinar will receive an email afterwards that includes this user guide as well. Let me just check one more time to see if any other questions bubbled up. And I think we are good. So thank you so much for attending. Looking forward to working with you as you get your projects into this tool and move them along, and hoping that that it helps us get more chargers deployed as quickly as possible and find and eliminate any of our shared obstacles along the way. So thanks again, everyone, and happy deploying to you.